Hey, Philip,
Good afternoon.
how are you?
Good, good. How are you?
Good. I was just up. We're selling out our milk processing equipment, and some guys are here from New York picking it up. And I was up there taking some pictures and talking to them, and almost I knew I needed to come down. I thought I had 10 minutes. Instead, I got down, I had 3 minutes. So,
I didn't know you had a dairy.
oh yeah, we had a dairy in New York. We moved to Missouri. Then we started a dairy out here eventually, and then we processed our own milk, and we were organic. We took it into stores, Kansas City, Columbia, Missouri, Iowa City, um, Des Moines. So we did that for about 15 years.
Cool. It was a cow dairy.
Yes.
It's hard work.
It's relentless. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. I'm just starting mine, but I don't expect to get big enough for it to be too much of a handful.
Well, that's good because if you get into stores and and you're delivering, you have delivery truck and you got all the equipment. We have 540 acres here, and we had the parlor and the processing, and then the orders and delivery, and then people would call up, the milk's not, the milk's going bad. Like, oh,
Yeah.
it's very stressful. And then the regulators were not very thrilled to have us after a while because DFA, Dairy Farmers America, had helped us, and then they decided we might be competition, and they didn't want anybody coming in being competition. And so then they kind of put pressure on the milk board and to be more strict, and so it got harder all the time. But
Yeah. Same thing. Oh, I forgot to record. Oh, it says pausers. Okay. So I guess I have these meetings set to record automatically. So I don't
that's good.
Yeah, and I think I fixed our sound issue with the setting in the meetings, but if not, I think I can figure it out once we start screen sharing.
Okay, well, what do you want
Yeah.
to start with? What's
Well, I have this code. Let me start my screen share first.
okay? I'm excited to think I might be able to hear.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah,
Um,
we'll see.
so this was a cone circle, and I didn't make it too large because I've got a lot of I mean, I don't have a lot of space in there.
Yeah, it's fine.
But she's doing pretty well with that. We can watch this first because it's relatively short.
Okay.
Can you hear volume on that?
I haven't heard anything yet. Can you hear
Okay,
it?
well, you should hear goats. Ooh, I thought I had that fixed, but
No, I don't hear anything.
share sound. Okay, let's try that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I suppose I thought I had a global setting so that all the meetings, but it looks like I'm gonna have to change that setting to start.
Oh, wait. Yes, good dog. Good doggy. That's a very good dog. Yeah.
That really helps to be able to hear you.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yes,
thought about
good
adding
girl.
subtitles.
Yeah, that's a lot of work.
Yeah, it is, and you have to buy, special software. You can't just do it, for free or anything. So it wasn't
Yeah.
really worth it.
Back up. Yes, good
There
dog.
you go. Nice. And she didn't run in and try and grab it either.
Yes, good girl.
Yeah, she's definitely getting better
What
with
a
the
good
self-control.
Yeah, great.
But when I
Yeah.
widen the circle,
Good doggy.
we'll be back. Won't be back to square one because she gets it relatively quickly. But when I first changed from a square to a circle, it was like it was a completely new thing for the first 3 or 4 cues, and then she reverted back to being pretty good at it.
Nope. Too bad.
Sorry, she went the
That was
wrong
good.
way. So
Yeah, I know. And you caught it and you pulled it up. That was good. that was good. I saw that.
Back up. Nope, fine.
Like when she comes at it, I don't even say nope or anything. It's just
Come by. Lie down.
not available. And I don't, I don't pull it away and I don't say anything.
Come on.
If she grabs it, I'll say oops or something, but I won't say anything,
Good girl.
thinking about it.
No,
That's a good dog.
no reward marker
That's
or
so
anything.
good.
Just,
Only if she grabs it,
yeah.
Yeah.
if
Well,
she
she's
Good girl.
she's pretty enthralled with this new rat.
Oh, yeah.
It's a
Oh, yeah.
squeaky toy, and she's pretty
Oh,
excited
yeah.
about it. So she kept
I
trying
can't
to
even
grab it.
use squeaky toys like in the house because my dogs will attack each other if one of them starts squeaking that.
Really? Wow.
Fine.
Yeah, I always take them out. It's just not safe.
Yeah.
Good dog.
And drives my husband crazy, and then he attacks me. So
Go away. Lie down. Yes, good dog.
good.
Come by. Yes, good girl. Good dog. Very good.
It's hard for her to process that, right? In the, when they're moving, it's always harder.
Yeah.
So if you want to try, if you want to help her,
Good.
as soon as you say like come by or away, say come by, lie down before
Okay.
she really gets going. And a lot of times that'll help because once they get going, if they just get it in their mind, that's what they're doing and they don't listen.
Yeah, I tried to reverse her there, and I can stop her and reverse her, but when she's in
Right.
full flight, she doesn't reverse.
And so what I do there is I practice that the same way. I'll do a quarter circle, stop, go back the other way.
Good dog.
And then I'll do that like 5 or 6
Come on.
times. And then I'll try doing it without
Good
stop.
girl.
Okay.
Good dog.
Just so they get the idea, oh, I'm only going to go a little ways and I'm going back. I'm only going a little ways. I'm going to stop and go back. And then finally, oh, I'm going to go a little ways and go back. And they just have to start processing it is all.
So I noticed with your large cone circle with
Drop
Sir that he was making full and partial circles, and he'd stop. It looked like he was stopping at balance, and then you would give him the same
Oh, wait.
command again, and he would keep going.
Right.
Is that something I should work on with her? Or?
No, because we don't really know if he's thinking that's balance or if he just stopped. Like if I worked with him a lot, I would start trying to get him to quit doing that.
Come on.
Um,
Yes.
and that was like I hadn't done any of that in a long time with him. So
Dog.
like I wanted you to see like he would
Oh, yeah.
sometimes he'd come in, but I never had to pull it away from him because he knew it wasn't available.
Good dog.
Mhm.
He knows that rat is not available unless I say get it. And so that really just helps so much because then you don't have to worry.
Right.
And if he would, like because the guard dog was there, you could see he was really distracted. If he would just go in and grab it because of the dog or whatever, then I would just say oops and that would be it. But
Away. Yes, good girl.
I was pretty good about, making sure he never got it.
Good
In this
girl.
pattern. I don't think he ever has.
Good
Yeah.
doggy. Oh, yeah.
But that doesn't mean he wouldn't do it. I haven't worked on that a lot lately.
Yeah.
And
Good dog.
Well, Judy's beaten me
Oh, yeah.
several
oh,
times,
yeah.
as you know, but
Oh,
yeah.
we're getting better.
yeah, it makes it harder once because it's intermittent reinforcement.
Good
And
dog.
that makes it harder
Oh,
to
yeah.
control.
Yeah. Drop it.
But I'm amazed if you change your criteria, how quick the dogs adapt.
That'll do.
Yeah.
So,
They really do.
yeah, it's amazing to me. Like I used to not use it, make them wait, forget it. If I said yes, they could get it. Because I used to just play with a flip pole. Well, once I decided I was going to do that, I think it only took like me 3 times. I'd say yes, and then they'd go for it, and I'd pull it away. And then like the 3rd time, they kind of hesitated, and I said get it. And after that, it's like, oh, you've changed the rules, and if you're consistent, then okay, now we've got it. So I'm always amazed.
Yeah. So this is the goats in the pen again.
Right.
And I really don't think much has changed since the last one you've seen, but you can
Okay.
decide for yourself.
Sorry. That makes a nice little pen. It's easy
It
to put
does.
up, take down, and that's great.
Yeah. Now, if they decided they wanted to get out, they'd be out in about 5
Right.
seconds. But
Oh, yeah.
once they've got, as long as they've got food in there, you know,
Yep. It just keeps them from wandering around.
right.
You know, and he's not really getting that close to him or shouldn't. And so it's, I think it's much better if you have one you can easily put up and take down so that, you know, it's not always in the way.
Yeah,
And
I put out a post on our local Facebook page to get some of those corral panels. But most of them that I've seen, the spacing is such that my smaller goat can just crawl through it.
Yeah.
Again, if she weren't motivated to do so, she might not. But you know,
right. But that's the
probably
whole
have,
idea is you don't want them to, you know, because Judy could get into it too, obviously.
right, exactly.
Right. And so we don't want that.
Seems like the ones that you had in the video you sent were actually smaller spaces.
Yes.
They had
And
more
I
bars on
I
them.
can't get those anymore.
I can't find them anywhere.
Crazy.
The ones I can find are stupidly expensive. I mean, just ridiculous.
When I bought those, a guy got them for me in Kansas City, and I was at we were going to a trial, and he went over and got them, and he got me 12 of them, and we could have sold those probably 10 times that many at the trial if the people had
Yeah.
bought them. And this was years ago, and now you can't even find them.
Yeah, I can't. Tractor Supply doesn't carry them. They carry the large cattle panels, but
I
like
think
said,
if I were going to do like a, you know, if I wanted to start a little business, I think I
Yeah.
think there's a big demand for that, you know,
Oh, yeah.
do it without them being so super expensive. People need them. And I was going to tell you too, if you noticed in my, you turn the volume down on the,
Barbara, let me pause this. The background noise on the video is kind of drowning
Okay.
me out.
yeah. I was going to say maybe you could turn the volume down, but in like right there, you are about as far from the goats as I was from my sheep. And at other points, you're quite a distance. Like it must be your paddock is like a rectangle and not a square. And
Yeah.
so once you start, the reason I want you to stay on the perimeter, even if it's farther than what mine is because it makes it easier for her. But once you put the circle out, it will be equidistant from it. And so it'll be, you know, closer to these sides and then farther away from the long sides. But it's just like at this point, you know, you're just going to have to go around till like you saw how Sir could do it. And so it just really helps them. It just shows them and teaches them, like I said, that they can stay out there, they can be with you, they can relax. And it's almost like muscle memory or something, because Sir is the same way. He's a very forward moving dog. In fact, I can't tell you how many hours I sat with him. I sat in the chair in that same setup that you saw with the sheep in the pen, except I had a chair. I had him tied to a post with a bungee leash and another leash so that if he went and tried to lunge the sheep, that it wasn't such a dead pull, because he was like it was about 20 foot. And then I just sat there with a clicker, and if he paid any attention to me, if he turned his head a bit towards me or flicked a knee or looked at me, I would click and first I had to get up and give him a treat. And I spent hours and hours till he would finally let me into that picture, you know, because he was so focused on the sheep that I did not exist. And then I started getting where I could, when I'd click, he'd come back to me to get the treat. And then if he relaxed, if he laid down, if, you know, and I'd click that. And then I got where he would go in and I could call him back, or, you know, and then it just got better and better, but I spent hours just sitting there with him, just letting him relax, letting the sheep just stand there, you know, because he's a very forward moving dog too. And
Yeah.
if she was a sideways moving dog, we wouldn't hardly be doing this. And if we were, we wouldn't go out on the farther ends, because that's what they love, is to move away from stock. And in fact, they tend to get where they're fence runners and stay out there. But I'll guarantee Judy is not going to stay
Yeah.
on that fence. So she has to learn that she can be out there. And like you're asking about throwing the hat and kicking the dirt, this is where she learns this is a comfortable place. This is a reinforcing place that I can be. And
Okay.
once she understands the cones better, that she needs to stay out around them, you know, then you're starting to get somewhere, because now you've taught her, well, this is what I want you to do. This is what's going to be reinforcing. And the cones, you know, you stay out, that's reinforcing to stay out, and flank around is reinforcing. So we're just trying to build this all in little steps. And that's why I thought those videos might help you see, you know, where we're going.
Yeah, it did help. So I said not much has changed, but I feel like she's probably not pulling on the leash as much and not trying to cross over in front or behind me as much as she was. So it is a little bit of an improvement.
It is. And this is, I think I told you, you'd gone pretty fast, but this is where it slows down, and you got to take more time, because you just can't push it. I mean, if she keeps, you know, like with Sir, he never once tried to cross over in front of me. They like to get out ahead, or he does. And I don't mind, because he's staying on the perimeter. But if he was crossing over, we wouldn't move forward. It's as far as go on to the next step. And she just needs to learn to walk around with you and be comfortable. And then, you know, then we move on.
Right. Okay. And then I noticed that in your videos, you had cones around the pen, but we haven't done that. Is that because Judy's not as hooked up with the goats as Sir usually is, or why have we eliminated the cones? Are we going to add those later?
We're going to add them right now. It's just, I don't think they make any difference. The ideas that, you know, they're just something else in the environment. And when I started with Sir, I didn't have them, and I just, because like, why set them up? I don't think they mean anything to him at this point. And you can set some up and see if that does help. If it helps, then use them.
Okay.
I'm all about trying things, Philip. You can't, I mean, if you think they're going to help, I'm all for it. They aren't going to hurt anything.
Sure.
You know? And,
okay.
But
and
yeah,
they would help in what way? To keep her from trying to move in, or?
Right. That if she saw, you know, but I don't think she thinks of them as much of a barrier at this point. So that's why I didn't think they're really going to help you.
Okay.
You know, if she was really good about honoring the cone circle, I'd say, well, probably put them out, and, you know, then it would help. You know, that's just a more of a mental barrier, you know, that she can see they're there. And for Sir, it probably would help, because he's better at honoring that at this point. But I just figured from seeing her go in so often, it didn't look like it was really going to help you any.
Okay. Okay.
So, but feel free to try stuff, like I said, and, you know, because you never know. I mean, I think that's what has helped me the most with the dogs, is every time I've worked with them and something isn't going as good as I like, or sometimes I just think, oh, I'll try this, I'll try that. And some of it works and some of it doesn't. And some of it, then well, that sort of helped, but I'll try something else, or I'll adapt it. I'm all about just trying stuff and seeing what works for you and what works for the dog.
Okay. So this is, I mean, she's made several circles on a loose lead without trying to walk in or cross over or anything. So I started trying to get her to walk in on her own. And it worked about half the time, and the other half she just kind of looked at me like she didn't know what was going on.
Do you have my second book?
Yeah, I'm
okay.
I'm like four chapters, maybe 5 chapters into it.
Okay, well, then you've hit chapter 3, walk in, and that's what you're gonna do. You're
Okay.
gonna follow that. And you can, if you want, you can put cones out so you can tell where you are, but I just get ahead of the dog and I've got a lot of pictures. And, what I would do is I would ask her in, and if she didn't go, then I would just have her lie down, then I'd take a step ahead of her, and then I'd start working this in the book. And if you
Okay.
ask her in, she goes in, yay, okay, great. And then just be sure you work both sides. So like, sometimes you're on her right, if you step forward, and sometimes you're on your left. Her
Okay.
left.
And do you think we're ready to start trying that, or do you feel like we need to practice with this?
So you can start working on that walk in, yeah, because I think she's doing quite well. I mean, that's beautiful there. And you may, you can even do that away to a target, like put that tug she loves, do this. You could do it down here, but if you want to do it up at in your patio, put that down and work the same thing with the tug.
Okay.
Because it's all targeting. It's all whether she's targeting the tug or targeting the goats. It's all walking into a target. So, if you want to do it in your house when it's cold, hey, like I said, be creative, because even traditional people, there's like 3 or 4 ways to teach everything. But their problem is that 2 problems, like the guy with the throwing the hat and kicking the dirt. Now, if that's all people ever did, most people could live with that. But the problem is when that doesn't work, they escalate till they're beating on the dog and doing all sorts of, shock collaring and all this. So the other thing is they try 3 or 4 things and it doesn't work. Then they just say the dog's no good. Because they don't understand how to change behavior. And so they try whatever they've learned and then give up because they don't know what else to do. So I think I'd like you to read the 3rd chapter in the book and follow that. But like I said, well, it's targeting. So you can do that to a tug or to a flirt pole rat, or, just throw it out in front of her and then, get her, to go walk a little bit with you. I would walk around it and then ask her to walk into it and work that, just like you would. So then when she comes here, she's got more of an idea. Oh, that's what that means. That's what you want me to do. And you don't have I usually teach it with a flirt pole. And so then the dog, that's why I teach all of the skills or cues away from the stock. So when they get to the stock, at least when you say that cue, there's something in their mind that they've practiced it, that they know what it means. Whether they're going to perform the behavior depends on the whole situation. But, if you get there and you say banana to her, she's going to go, oh, and, even if that's the most, common cue you're going to use, if she's never heard it before, it's not going to mean anything.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
So usually what I do is I stop the dog and then ask him to walk in, because it's the same difference as asking him to switch on flanks. Eventually you can do it. You can tell her she's going flank and ask her to walk in. But initially it's flank, stop, now walk in. Because that's going to be easier than to make that transition from something that she's doing while she's moving to something else, where if you stop her now, okay, we're going to start again. Okay. Her mind can kind of switch gears a little bit. At least that's what I think. And
Okay.
Some dogs, and plus you'll get, if you ask them to walk in all the time from when they're flanking, instead of turning and going directly into making a 90-degree turn, you might get this sort of a arc, and you really would rather, it'd be, when you say it, they're just kind of flipping and going in.
Okay. Is that thing still running?
Pardon?
It sounded like the video was still running. But
Oh, I see. Yeah, I can't hear, but you might be able to hear.
no, it stopped. I don't know what I'm hearing.
Okay. But yeah, that's why I did those, because I thought, well, if those videos, I thought if you could see where we're going, you'll know when to move forward, because you'll see, oh, the next step is going to depend on this step. And if this step isn't solid, then it's going to go downhill the next step. And to show that, you know, what I'm asking you to do, my dog actually can do or has done. And that's, you know, he's a lot better at it now, but he's done it for years. So, you know, he's pretty good at it. And what I did one year was, I had, I don't know if it was Sir or Gold. I think it was Gold I was working with, and he would cut in a lot. He didn't want to stay on the perimeter. So I mow that area, and I quit mowing the center. I just mowed a path around the outside. And that's when I send Sir now to get my sheep. Where he goes, he has to go back up on an old foundation of a church of a barn. I don't know where that came from. And there's some stuff laying out there that's hard to see. So in the spring, I mow a path, and it's the right path for him to go. I mean, it makes it, you're just like they say with the horses, make the correct thing easy and the incorrect thing difficult. And so, you know, anything you can do to make it easier for her to be correct, then that's what we want to do. And then we reinforce that and encourage it.
Okay. Do you have any videos of your dogs working stuff?
Oh yeah. Haven't you been onto my blog?
I have, but I don't remember finding any.
Well, there's do you want to look at one right now?
Sure.
Okay, let's see.
I think I have.
Wait. Okay, you have to let me share my screen.
Okay, and we got to that by participants.
That's what I did. Participants, and then I clicked on, then click on my name and see if it'll let you. And while you're doing that, I'm gonna look for the video.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, you are now the host.
Okay, great. Let me find it, and then I will. Someone just asked me, oh, I know the easiest way. A woman just asked me, I don't know who she is. She asked me if she wanted to, she was doing a video. And so I think her name's Sarah. And she was gonna, what do I want to say? She was going to advertise my book. And so she said, so I gave her the link that she wanted. And then she said, oh, I could use some of your dog herding as a B-roll. And I said, oh, okay. But I don't even know what I said. It'd be nice if you sent videos so I know what I'm, let's see. Okay. Can you see my screen?
No.
Okay. Okay. As soon as I get this up, then I will hit share screen and share screen. Wait. No. What? Oh, wait, maybe I have to wait a second. What happened? You're there. So, okay. So expand it. Okay. Share screen. Share. I'm afraid we're kind of, we'll get this figured out eventually. So this is Sir Penning. I don't know why that got blurry. Well, no, that's not. I wanted to pause this. Let me go back and see if it'll play it without getting blurry. So this is Quest here. And the reason he's there is because I had worked this so much, the sheep were willing to just run in the pen. So that's one thing I learned from the guy I worked with. Like sometimes we'd put a dog in the pen and that would keep the sheep not wanting to go in. So
So you've just got to pen completely open on one side, it looks like.
It's got a gate on it there. But the gate is straight open. So
Okay.
it's the one on my side is the gate, but you can't see it. So a lot of times I like to let the sheep settle when they're right in the throat of the pen like that. They're all set up. All they need to do is learn they can't go anywhere else. But
Is
in the pen.
is your video running?
Yep.
Mine's not.
See it? It's not running. You can't see the sheep going in.
No, it's just a freeze frame at the very beginning.
Oh, okay. Oh, wait, maybe it says, oh, I see. Resume share. I think I screwed up. Okay. Now
Oh,
tell
there
me
we
if
go.
you can see it
That's
now. Do you see him
Much
moving?
clearer on my side too.
Okay. Is he moving now? Well, now
Yes.
I don't know. It gets fuzzy right there, but then it'll clear up. There we go. I don't know why it doesn't do that on the regular video. So that's what I was saying. I get the sheep up here and they're looking towards the pen. Then I'll move the dog a little, like then the sheep will, he's putting pressure. So then they'll kind of turn towards me. So I put some pressure, but I'm trying to keep them really settled. That's the idea, because if they start running around, it gets crazy. So it's the whole idea, like I said, is trying to say you can't come to my side and you can't go to his side and you can't go back. And the only way you can go is into this pen.
And the other dog is there just to kind of add some control, or?
The other dog is there so that they don't want to go in the pen.
Ah, okay.
You'll see me, I'll shut the gate here shortly and then you'll see the gate. It's that same pen that I used the other day. I'm gonna say I've got about 1,000 videos of him working or my dog's working, so it's like they're not, but they're not all on YouTube because then I have to screw around to put them on YouTube. So
Yeah, and that's a little bit of a time-consuming process.
right, and most of it's just for my own. Then I'll go back, like if I want to do a blog or something, then like here I sent him the other way and he went the wrong way, so I stopped him and I told him to go back the other way.
He stays out really wide.
Yeah, and I fight with him all the time. I still fight with him to stay out. And in this video, he does really nice in there. He comes in, now he's coming towards me. That's an off balance flank. And that's like, that is beautiful. I mean, this is, we'll watch it again. Now I'll show you when like he goes sideways, he sidesteps. I mean, he's really got good control of his stock. He's listening, he's staying. He loves penning. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
He loves this, where he can control them, but he tends to be pushy. He tends to come in too hard, too fast. There, he gets real nervous when they're getting away. So it's like, okay, go back to where you're supposed to be.
Yeah, I hope Judy's the same way, because that's one of the main things we're going to be doing is picking up the goats to come in at night.
Yep.
For milking and
right.
Wow, that's really great. He stays out like that. And then...
See there how he opened up when he flanked? There, how he's going sideways?
Yep.
He's really holding his circle, his distance. He's not slicing in, which is what he loves to do. And that's what Judy loves to do. So everything I do with her is what I've done with him, or I'm thinking of it the same way as with him, because I know she's like that, and I know if we let her cheat at any point that everything he does that's wrong, that I don't like, is all because I did not maintain criteria at the time. And it's just the way it is. You know, if I
Yeah.
could go back, I would. You don't want to see that again, I assume.
Doesn't matter, whatever.
I don't know how much time is left. Do you know? Oh, 4:40. Well, if you, what else you want to talk about? I can show it again, or you can ask me something else, or we can talk about something else.
Yeah, I think we're about to run out of time, actually, aren't we?
Yeah, it says there's still 4:40. I'll just
Oh,
run it
okay.
again. We can talk while he's doing it. I'll try and explain what's going on.
Okay.
So see there, his pressure pushed him over to me, so I go over and hold that side. Then I flank him. You'll see he'll go to, I guess he's gonna come in and he'll come in till he gets some pressure on him. And then they turn to my side. But like I said, the whole idea is to, usually when you're penning or something like that, if they don't want to go, usually you move one person and then the dog, and then the person and then the dog. And you always give the dog the side that has the most pressure and the biggest area to cover, because he can run so much faster than I can, obviously. See there, again, he opened up really nice. If he doesn't, if he flanks and cuts in, then he's going to push him right over me.
Mhm.
You know, it's just no way I'm going to hold him because he can put so much more pressure on him than I can.
Yeah, it's the eye.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm not nearly as, I'm a predator to him, but I'm not nearly as important, or as, what I want to say, as scary to them, you
Yeah.
know. And the other thing is, I have a friend and she always marvels because like when I've been at trial, she says, I can stand there and stand up straight and the sheep will come often quite close to me. And with her, they won't come within like 10 or 15 feet of her. And she's standing there and it seems like we're both just as calm and quiet.
Mhm.
But if I worked Quest on these sheep, showed you that he's a very sideways moving dog and he really stays out, and sometimes he gets sticky, and so it's really, so I love when he does that because he stays out so nice. And yet when you ask him in, that's the nice thing about a foreign moving dog like Quest, he would stay out, but then when you ask him in, he doesn't want to come in. You know, he just doesn't want to. Where Sir, if you can get him to stay out and you ask him in, he's like, yeah, I'm coming in, you know, I want to come in. And so it's always a balancing act of, you know, keeping them out and having them want to come in. I mean, because you need both. You need both. And ideally, there must be a dog somewhere that is perfect, that, you know, stays out and then comes in. But usually they want to stay out or they want to come in, and you have to keep working to keep them more, you know, balanced to the way you want.
Border collies tend to be more forward moving than some other dogs I've heard.
Well, it depends, because Quest is very sideways moving and his father was very sideways moving. So it depends on the dog. And if you see a dog that claps and is sticky, they're usually a very sideways moving dog. And then they can end up being fence runners. Well, you can go out in a 50-acre paddock and some of them they've learned and they'll run the whole fence, even if the sheep are only like 30 yards in front of them. So, I mean, it's always, you know, you're pushing out, but not too far. And that's a problem that a lot of people have, is they don't know when they get into problems. So we have less than a minute left. Like I said, read chapter 3 in the second book and follow that and try and use it with a tug and get her so she knows, and then take it out to the sheep and try it there.
Okay.
But stop in between. You're flanking, lie down, then walk in.
Okay. Flanking, lie down, walk in. Got it.
Right.
Okay. Do you do any trials?
I used to. I haven't in a long time. They're mostly doing cattle trials around here now, and I don't take them. And I've just been so busy with other stuff. I